Hey, this is my tutorial for Balanced Craft Wars Era of Light. I will be explaining all the boss's attacks, phases, and strategies that I use for the boss. Once you touch the ball in the middle of the arena, don't go near it because it can explode and make you lose a life before the boss even spawns. Phase 1 of Benedictus has 150,000 HP. Most of his attacks can be dodged if you're pretty close to him. Some of his attacks can spawn clones, which could easily go through multiple of your lives. The first attack I'll talk about is the beam Benedictus will shoot from his hand. It does 40 damage, and if it hits you, it has a 40% chance to summon a clone. You can easily dodge it by being near him or just pressing Q. It's important to dodge this move because if it summons a clone, you can easily just lose a life to that. The next move Benedictus has is his pillars. These will either target in front of him or where the player is standing. They do 40 damage and have a 50% chance to spawn a light clone, so don't get hit by them. And if he targets a player, make sure you dash on the third beam, because Benedictus could follow up with attack immediately catching you off guard, and worse, even summoning a clone. Next move is Benedictus' Light Explosion. This will do 5 to 55 damage depending on how close you are to him. It also has a 50% chance to summon a clone. The easiest way to dodge that is learn what the animation is, and if you see it, press Q immediately so you take no damage. Next move is Benedictus' Double Slash. Benedictus will do 2 slashes in a X-shaped pattern. Both slashes will do 30 damage each, and you can easily dodge this by just pressing Q or being near him. This move does not summon clones. The final move of Phase 1 is Benedictus' Dash Slash. Benedictus will ready his sword behind them before dashing and slashing at the player, doing 30 damage. If the player is too close to Benedictus, Benedictus will dash away from the player instead. You can dodge this by timing a dash or timing a jump. This is one of the more annoying attacks to dodge in Phase 1. Benedictus can also swap positions with any alive clone on the map. So, as long as there's a clone alive, Benedictus has a chance when attacking to swap positions with that clone. Clones will also do Double Slash and Dash Slash, doing 20 damage per slash instead of 30. That is pretty much everything for Phase 1. Now on to Phase 2. In the transition from Phase 1 to Phase 2, you will get 2 extra lives. Benedictus will become a pillar of light during this time, and then a ring of light will close in on that pillar. Once the ring of light touches the pillar, dash immediately because it will create a big explosion which could easily kill you or bring you to really low HP. In Phase 2, Benedictus becomes Prismatic Benedictus, still keeping 150,000 HP. He will keep some of his moves from Phase 1, those being Double Slash, Dash Slash, Light Pillars, and Hand Laser. The first move I'll talk about in Phase 2 is Benedictus' Enhanced Light Explosion. Benedictus will raise into the air with his sword over his head, and then stop, before crashing down to the ground, doing 5 to 85 damage in a big explosion. The easiest way to dodge this is press Q when he stops in the air, which will give you enough iframes to dodge the explosion. The next move in Phase 2 is Benedictus' Overhead Slash. Benedictus will hold his sword above him, and then either dash towards the player or away from the player, depending on how close they are to him, and then do a vertical slash, doing 30 damage. You would dodge this attack the same way you would dodge Dash Slash, except with a bit more delay. The next move I'll talk about is Benedictus' first combo in Phase 2. Benedictus will do a Double Slash, and then immediately do a Dash Slash, faster than usual, right after the Double Slash. The easiest way to dodge this is be close on the Double Slash, and then dash on the Dash Slash. The second combo Benedictus has is a Dash Slash immediately followed up by an Overhead Slash that comes out faster than usual. To dodge this you need 2 dashes, one before the Dash Slash and one before the Overhead. The next move I'll talk about is Benedictus' Crossbeams. Benedictus will rise into the air summoning 4 lasers that rotate around him. These for some reason have a rectangular hitbox doing 10 damage per tick. Pillars will also try to attack you during this duration. The easiest way to dodge it is keep some distance away from him and keep some distance from the pillars and beams, and use your dash if you get into a bad situation. The final attack of Phase 2 is Benedictus' Light Barrage. Benedictus will rise into the air summoning a giant orb of light, which will shoot 3 waves of 20 light orbs at you. The easiest way to dodge these is by dashing away from Benedictus and then start dashing to the side. If you're in a lucky spot, you can hide behind one of the pillars in the arena, which will block the orbs from even hitting you. That's pretty much all of the attacks for Phase 2. Now on to Phase 3. The transition from Phase 2 to Phase 3 will give you 3 extra lives. This will also destroy the arena, allowing Phase 3 to happen in space. In Phase 3, Benedictus gains 200,000 HP. In this phase, it is important to keep your camera zoomed out at all times so you're able to see what attacks Benedictus is doing. The reason why Phase 3 takes longer than Phase 1 and Phase 2 combined is because whenever using an attack, Benedictus has a chance to teleport to a random spot on the arena. His attack windows are open at all given times though, and he can't void, unlike a very specific boss I won't name. Before going over Benedictus' attacks, I will go over his passive. Whenever you are hit by one of Benedictus' attacks in Phase 3, you will get a mark, which is visible as a little diamond above you. This will stack up to 5 times. At the 5th stack, the mark will be consumed, doing damage equal to 50% of your current health, and healing Benedictus for 10,000% of that damage, which is a 101 times that damage as healing. The first attack I'll talk about in Phase 3 are Benedictus' sentries. Benedictus can summon light sentries, which shoot light projectiles at you that do 10 damage and contribute to 1 mark on your light mark. If more than 20 of these sentries exist at once, Benedictus has a chance to consume them all and heal for half of his missing health. Make sure that you always target the sentries if they're near Benedictus. Don't go too far out of your way to target sentries. Destroying a sentry will also do 1,000 damage to Benedictus himself. The next attack I'll talk about in Phase 3 is Benedictus' Big Orb. Benedictus will charge a giant orb of light above him and direct it at the player. If it hits you, it would do 40 damage and give you 3 marks of light. It also has a shockwave that does damage afterwards. The easiest way to dodge this is just dash and jump, or just dash if you're really close to Benedictus. Since the hitbox doesn't linger, you can just sit inside the expired hitbox and keep hitting Benedictus if you're close to him. The next move I will talk about is Benedictus' Triple Pillars. Benedictus will summon 3 pillars in a triangular formation around you. Getting hit by one of these pillars will do 33 damage and apply 2 marks of light to you. The easiest way to dodge them is to continuously dash in one direction or look for the gap in between the pillars. Next, I will talk about Benedictus' Space Rift. Benedictus will wave his arm across his chest. This will create an orb at the player's location doing 15 damage. It will then expand into a rift, doing 15 damage again. Both instances of damage apply 1 mark. The easiest way to dodge this is pay attention to the animation that Benedictus uses for this attack. Since the attack is instant, you have to know when to dash. The hitbox for the rift also doesn't linger, so take advantage of that when you're right up next to Benedictus. The final move of Phase 3 is Benedictus' Laser. Benedictus will put all 4 of his hands together and charge a laser that does 10 damage per tick, in total doing 150 damage. This move does not contribute to Light Mark. The way to dodge this attack is by dodging to the side or being close to Benedictus, because if you're close enough to Benedictus, you won't even get affected by the laser. That is all for Phase 3. With this, you should be able to have the knowledge to beat the boss. All that's left now is getting consistent. So here I will show you what you get for beating the boss. For beating the boss, you get the Radiant Halo of Ascended Souls, which is this big double halo I have on my head. It makes your eyes white, and it also gives you a pretty cool kill effect. The next thing you get is Remembrance of Divine Mage Lord Benedictus. This is a boss statue that is unlimited, so no matter how many times you place it, it will not disappear from your inventory. Get out of my house. Okay, I forgot to show this, but the halo also gives you a chat tag. Oh, and also, Benedictus will be in awe of your pure existence while you're wearing this. So that is everything regarding Benedictus in Era of Light. hopefully this helps you on your attempts to beating the boss solo. And if you're going for the perfect run, good fucking luck to you.